Welcome back to Animal Audit Corner. Now, yesterday I made roasted broccoli for dinner from countdown to Thanksgiving side dishes. Today, we are going to make pumpkin Belgian waffles. That's right, pumpkin Belgian waffles. Now, what do I have for the countdown to Thanksgiving side dishes? That remains to be seen. So let's see here. Think of it while I'm making your pumpkin Belgian pancakes, which is, I'm making it a seasonal menu for brunch. So let's get started. You know you got your aid from the Michael J. Render Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation. You got the clothes on your back, your transportation, which is your hot new vehicle, and the roof over your head. And you also got your brand new job, or had it for a while now, which is a huge accomplishment. From back in the days where you were only making $47. Now it's a new day and age for you because you're making more money. And you possibly went back to school. But guess what? You eventually gotta eat. So this is where I come in. I'm going to give you my recipes for you to have when you're preparing your meals. So let's get started. My cup of coffee. And guess what? As you know, I shared with all of you that I had ADHD. So now we're ready to go. Sorry about that, but of course, you all know that if you're on medication, you have to take it daily, or else it's not going to work. So, of course, it's mainly based on your decision. So let's get started on our recipe. So first, you're going to need 2 cups of flour. Okay, sorry, I forgot those. So let's put in our 2 cups of flour. All right, there it is. All righty. let's see. Then you can need 3 tablespoons of baking powder. I think I might run out. Okay. But guess what? I have more, so let me get it. Now, the reason why I'm putting 3.5 tablespoons, it's because there's no eggs in it. And of course, you need, well, usually the eggs are used to make the dough rise. So that's why I'm putting in 3 tablespoons, because it's the vegan way. So vegan, vegetarian way, or whatever. All right. Okay, there. All right. Now we're gonna little by little put the flour and the baking soda away. So guess what? I can have more room. The limited space that I have. Okay. All righty. Now, if you don't have a stiffer or siffer, because usually you blend it together so it can directly combine the ingredients together. But if you don't have it, just use the whisk. Alrighty. And today, we're not going to use the stove. We're going to use the Belgian waffle iron. So okay. And now, guess what? We're going to stick in cinnamon and then the nutmeg. So let's get started. We're going to need 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. Okay. And then ½ teaspoon of nutmeg. Let's see. Okay. There we go. So not only we're making the Belgian pumpkin waffles, but we're putting in these ingredients. Now, is it the Belgian way? You know what? I don't know. Probably not, but I don't know. So we're going to put the cinnamon and the nutmeg back. Okay. Now this is optional. You can put salt in there. It's optional. But if you have a high blood pressure, check with your doctor first. Okay, now we're going to mix the ingredients. Excuse me. Alrighty. Okay. We got that in. Now we're going to have 2.5 cups of plant-based milk. Now, I'm not going to cram anything down anybody's throat. And I know not everybody is a vegan or vegetarian. So we, in the vegetarian and vegan world, we're going to have to live with it. So, yeah. And let's see. Okay. Don't have to go far to actually get my cup. So I'm going to get now. Okay. You can use any plant-based milk, but I am going to use soy. 1 cup. Now I'm going to gradually add it in. And then we're going to blend it up with my whisk. Then we're going to add another cup of milk. Go. All right. Now, am I trying to compete with... Oh, wait. Let me add in the ingredients before I have this thought. So now we're going to mix it up. All right, now we're going to put this away and then add the pumpkin in. Now we're going to stick in our pumpkin. All righty. Go. All right. Now I'm going to try and get the rest out of here. All right. Okay. Now we're going to mix it up. What do you know? All right. So looks like we're going to have to use the spatula. Okay. All right. Let's get started to mix. While I'm mixing, now you're thinking, why am I doing a cooking segment? Am I competing against Sam and Jenna? Not really. No. Because I just want to make sure you guys get food on your plate due to the fact that you came out of the cult. So, and you eventually have to eat. So that's why I'm doing this now. Now, usually I buy store-bought, and plus I want to help you budget everything in. So now the best thing to do when you're actually shopping for your product and you just got out of the cult, buy store brand. They're usually much cheaper than the brand name. Brand names cost money, as you can tell, because when you compare each and every prices, the store brand's going to end up a lot more cheaper than the brand names, which is the company brand names that goes into supermarkets every time. Okay. Look at that color. All right. Now, what Scientology story I have for you today? Oh, okay. Well, it's been a while since I saw Serge's channel. Yeah, sometimes our channels just disappear little by little. So press subscribe when you're on our channel, so you can actually see it. Now, you don't press subscribe, it's good. We're going to actually be at the bottom of the list. So always remember to press subscribe. And it doesn't hurt to hit the like too. So, and I think we're all doing great in the advocacy world by letting you know to actually keep subscribing if you want to see our channels. And the former Scientologists turned advocates are telling you. So that's why they tell you to actually hit the subscribe button. All right. Now, as you know, Serge DeMar, Jenna Miscavige, David Miscavige's niece, came out of that cult, along with Nora, Liz, not the Liz Dail and Liz Ferris. Yeah, technically the Liz, she's there. That's what she calls her channel, Liz Gail. All right, and Claire and Laura FM all got out of that cult, and they were in it since children, which is just tragic of its own. Now, if you're an adult and you go into the cult, that's on you. But you should never bring your children into the cult. Hand them over to a relative. But you're going to have to also think, is there anyone else around you before you actually join? The answer is no. Let's second think that thought. Because what they're going to do is stick your child in a foster care home. Now, you don't want that to happen. So I suggest you don't go into the cult generally. Especially the one like Scientology. They're the most dangerous. Now, are they as dangerous as the mob? Well, a lot of changes has happened in the mob, but do they still kill? That I don't know. Scott Bernstein says not anymore. But yeah, there's a but. We can't tell since. Okay, because are they having it out with the guys who used to be in the life? I don't know. But all I can say is they softened up a bit. Are they worse than Scientology? Yeah, because they are more threatening. Or, yeah, well, than the mob, but I mean, possibly the mob is a little bit more threatened since they killed, but did they stop killing? That I don't know. So maybe if I can get on a chat, so I'll check with him. But otherwise, I would have to say yes. Because first of all, they do not go around breaking up families. Families are off limits in the mob. Their motto is leave the families alone. And plus, I think maybe the old school is still going in there and killing. That's the old school of the mob. Today, the new school, who knows? So, and let's see what else. You can't draw attention to yourself. You cannot put your hands on another made man. That is off limits. They tell the potential made men not to put their hands on another made man. Scientology constantly does that. So you're not allowed to do that. They also said you cannot sell drugs, but if you end up selling them, that's it. That's your life. But I don't know what they do now. According to Scott Bernstein, they called it an end to that, but did they really? I don't know. So, and you have to keep a low profile. There is no way you can show off in public. In the past, if you do that, then that's the end of your life. And they don't use women too much in the mob. It's strictly a male-dominated criminal enterprise. Okay. And let's see. Definitely not allowed to sell this. And what else is there? As I mentioned, the front groups. Mafia has front businesses. Scientology has front groups in the shape of nonprofit groups. So, but they would give the front groups $47. And the mafia, they give them a full salary. So are they similar? Now, Scientology does a couple of, maybe one, two of the, three of the things they have, they just know. Other than that, no. They do use a few of the stuff, but other than that, no, they're not like them at all. So now they do what I just told you. Okay. So it looks like I'm going to have to do mafia stories comparing Scientology together so people don't get confused. What's my next one? To be announced. TBA. All right, I think that's it. All right. Now, we're going to grab out our waffle iron. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah, make sure you actually clean around the edges. Although I did clean this. Now, what I have pops out and you can actually wash it. Okay, but it's possible that another waffle iron has it. So let's just put this back. Snaps in. So let's get this out, plug it in. Now, there we go. All right, now the light is on. Now, if the green light goes on, that means it's ready. Oh, let me spray this before it goes off. All right, of course, you know it cannot stick to the waffle line, so we're going to use this. Okay, there. Now, close this. All right. All right, there we go. When the green line goes off, that means it's ready. But every other waffle iron there is would have a light on it. Or if it doesn't, you have to keep checking it. But usually nowadays, yes. So, okay. Now, we're going to take a scoop and then add it into the batter. How many is it going to make? Let's see. I would assume about maybe possibly 10. Because it's not in the form of a pancake, it's a waffle. So, okay. All right. Now, what else is going on? We all know that the Halloween event went on. Is it as scheduled? You know what, possibly. Who knows what Scientology is thinking. But, yeah, and once again, they think they own the street, so they blocked Audit LA's path. And you also know that she is in a wheelchair. Yeah, they pick on people who have that disability. And they had the audacity to tell her it was a vehicle. Which, okay, what's the point of me bringing it up again? That is called discrimination. Now, they are complaining that people do that to them, but no. They are the ones that are not tolerant. Now, we, the advocates, we say, you know what? Practice any religion you want. Fine. Have the beliefs that you have. But once you start hurting another person, all bets should be off. Now, my theory is, once you start hurting another person, it should no longer be considered a religion. Now, should they follow the same laws that we have? I mean, the United States have for us, even though they're behind the Fourth Amendment? Oh, yes. If you break the law and you're in a religion, it won't matter. You should suffer the same consequence as the person who tactically is in a religion, but that's what you have to do. Okay, the green light went off. Now we're going to place our batter in. I'm going to use the half teaspoon. Yeah, I hear clicking going off here. So hopefully it won't blow up. No, it's not going to blow up. I'm kidding. All right. Okay. All right, there we go. There. Yeah, make sure it doesn't melt if it's plastic. So. All right, there we go. Now we're going to get our plate. Am I going to eat all of it? No way. No, I'm not going to eat all of it. So maybe I'll have maybe one or two. That's it. But yeah. So now, every once in a while, I think you can splurge now that you can sometimes do it, but don't do it every day because it's not good for you. I mean, you can have health problems. It's just not good. But however, the same goes for vegetables. You can't have too much of a good thing, but at the same time, you're going to need your vitamins, your minerals, all that good stuff. But however, they say you can't get too much of the good stuff, but guess what? I have too much of the good stuff. And of course, if you're vegetarian, I think you probably need a little bit more of it. But me, I like to eat. That's the problem. So usually I have more of the vegetables. I know this is a little different since I'm just a little bit more big, but yeah. They said don't have too much of the good thing. But what else is, it's going on at the edges. Okay, well, all right. Now, what else is going on? Of course, you know the holidays are coming up. And our advocates are out there in full motion during the holidays. Because guess what? Scientologists don't go home to their families sometimes. They keep them from their families. Now, that's something that the mob doesn't do. They don't keep anyone from their families. Of course, I mentioned it, that they don't go around breaking up families. Scientology does. So, okay, what is going on here? Okay. Oh, boy. It's looking good, so I'll leave it in there just a little bit more. What else are they up to? All right. Of course, actually, you see the steam coming out. Yeah, you see the steam coming out in there. So, yeah. And, yeah, they're telling people that they don't really see their families alive, especially during the holidays, unless they let you go. So, and they turn that whole thing, not as a religion, as a military base. Is it right? No. And There are rules that you have to follow if you're a nonprofit and you have your tax exempt status and your 501. There's rules to be followed, but they do not follow the rules. That's another thing that people tell people who actually try and join Scientology but made the decision of not joining. It's because now there are advocates out there giving the facts, and it's not made up stories. All right. And now, guess what? They're not getting too many members. According to census, they only got 26 members. All right. Now we're going to get this out. Doesn't this look fabulous? Okay. So take this out. Put the next batter in. Yeah. A little bit. Is it going to stick? I don't know. So, all right. All right. Here we go. All right. Now, I know you heard this before. I'm going to work on buying me a coffee. Of course, I'm a little slow at it since I have ADHD, so it's going to take a bit. But if you still want to contribute to my channel, there's my PayPal account. But the only difference is you decide how much I should have. Now, I'm going to use the amount to actually pay for the internet connections. If I get more than I plan, I'm going to donate half of it to the SPTV Foundation and the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation. I am not in a position to actually give anything. So that's just the way things are. Oh, no. All right. Yes, it's coming out of the sides. Okay. Oh, boy. Isn't that a hoot? Okay. Oh, boy. Of course, you know it's not supposed to come out of the sides. Does Jenna and Sam do this? Sam? I don't think so. Jenna, I don't know. But usually she is a master at what she does too. She is the typical homemaker, and she has her own garden that she makes. I don't have a garden, so all right. Yeah, it came out from the sides, so I don't think they do that. So I usually put too much of anything. So all right. Is it coming? Ah! Okay. So I don't think Sam or Jenna does that either. So let's see here. Okay. But instead it's coming out of the edges. Should I make this announcement? Probably not. But you know what? Errors make views. That's what I keep telling. That's what people that run the videos and the businesses around YouTube tell everybody. Yeah, throw this away. Mistakes make views. I think that's what I think that's why that Aaron didn't edit his videos because it's funny. It's funny that way. And it looks like it works too because so all right. So I'll put just a little bit next side. So, all right. Now I know this is countdown to Thanksgiving. So while I'm making the pancakes, I'm actually trying to think of what else I should make. All right. So it looks like I have to wait till next week to actually do the countdown to Thanksgiving side dishes. So guess what? I wanted to make applesauce, but guess what? I don't have cider for the base. So now let's see. Okay, we're 47 minutes in. All right. Now. All right. So I gotta have to get that. And let's see. Oh, let me show you before I actually forget. Hold on. This is yesterday's countdown to Thanksgiving side dishes. This is what I made, the roasted broccoli with cheese. Yes, Thanksgiving is getting more and more interested yearly. So okay, so I'm gonna have this later. Of course, I made this yesterday and it went into the evening, so I didn't want to have too much. So, all right. All right, here we go. Let's check on our waffle. Oh, wow, it's looking good. Oh, boy. As soon as it's done, I have to sponge off the wire. And it looks like I have to clean this waffle iron, too. Okay. Now, what else is going on? All right. Now, as you know, I haven't been in any of the public works meetings due to the fact that I was thrown off when I got hacked into. That's right, I got hacked. And the thing is, I think Scientology did it because guess what? Everything else that I saved was left alone. So they're the culprit. So, and let's see. And be careful when you actually go onto the X search because I know I mentioned it in one of my other videos or streams. Be careful when you go on there because Scientology is recklessly watching whoever writes an anti-Scientology or information about Scientology. These trigger words that they're finding in anti-Scientology is one of them. So be careful when you actually go there and ask, because guess what? They want to fool everybody. So they're on there monitoring everybody. So be careful. And once you type in anti-Scientology, that's it. They're going to delete it because that's what they're doing. Now, I don't know why, but they're not suffering any kind of consequences. Yes, especially when it comes to searches or other internet sites, are they actually reporting them? I think so, because now Trump ended up kicked off the internet, but these people seem to stay on for some reason. They're not actually reporting them for some reason. Or if they did, they won't, the FBI, law enforcement won't do anything. And they are breaking the law when doing that. All right, let's see here. All right, here we go. All righty. I'm going to put another batch in now, just so it doesn't actually spill out. I'm just going to put a little bit in. Hopefully I don't go overboard. Let's see here. Okay. All right, that should do it. Okay, now you can actually put whatever it is to be dressing with, like pancake syrup, maple syrup. Go with the maple syrup, because guess what? And they would take preservatives and put it in pancake syrup. Now, I'm not trying to scare you. Nowadays, all the cans are lead processed and it causes cancer. That's what they found out nowadays. Are we going to use it anyway? It is always possible. So we're going to have to watch that. And okay. Oh, looks like the sun's going to come out. And I'm going to actually pick up my meds, which you have to do when you got ADHD. All right. Now, I decided to share this all with you to prove that you can actually have a normal life while you have mental illness. So there's that hope. So, because when you take medication, it treats it. Now, when I started taking medications, I compared it. But the last time when I first came here, my anxiety was off the charts. I got irritable. I started having panic attacks. It was on overdrive. I took medication and it had me grounded. My panic attack just disappeared. Is it a cure? No, it is. It's not a cure. It's more like treatment. Now there's good and bad at everything. So take that into consideration. Do not listen to what Scientology has to say, because guess what? They're going to mess you up by telling you there's all the medications are bad. But guess what? There's good and bad at everything, including psychiatry. So don't listen to them. I did it, of course, and it made me grounded, made me calm, and it's a good treatment. Okay, let me see here. So don't listen to what Scientology has to say. They lost that right when they started hurting members. So of course, yesterday I don't know whether I mentioned it or not. Jenna Miscavige was protesting Scientology. Yeah, I did mention it. Aaron was there. So he had his camcorder. He panned across, saying who was there in the form of a cardboard box or whatever. He had one of Tom Cruise and David Miscavige. But I don't know if they had one of John Travolta. That's the thing. All right, we're into 1 hour. All right. I want to say that I have a side dish today, but it doesn't look like I do. So we're going to have to wait till next week. Till then, I'll see what I'm going to do next week. And of course, as you know, we are also going to stick into desserts. So should we change it to countdown or your favorite recipes for Thanksgiving? Yes. And we're also going to do one for Christmas or Yule or Hanukkah or, yeah. So we're not actually doing a holiday version. Hanukkah might be taking place. So count on me actually wishing everybody a happy Hanukkah, even though I'm not Jewish. Or maybe you're not, who knows. So is Solomon Jew? You know what? I don't know. And he looks like such a great kid. All right. Now, let's see here. What else is going down? All right. Minute after I mentioned it. Okay. All right. Let's check the waffle. All right, it's done. So take this one out. Yeah, it's done. Usually it doesn't take too long to make waffles because guess what? They have something sticking on both sides. Let's see here. Woo! All right. Okay, here we go. All right. That should do it. Okay. Close this. All right. And guess what? With celebrity marriages, Tom Cruise, doesn't know how to keep a wife. He puts Scientology ahead of his own family, especially his wives and his kids, which is really selfish as a matter because Scientology ruins marriages too. So, but the good news is she married Keith Urban. Okay. All right. And Katie Holmes, is she seeing anyone? I don't know. But however, yeah, Tom Cruise puts his family first puts Scientology ahead of his own family. Now, because of that, he didn't go to her graduation. He didn't even go to her 18th birthday party, which is the most selfish thing a parent could ever do. And I do mean he is selfish. All right. All right. And Jim Carrey divorced his first wife because of Scientology. And I found out that he was a Scientologist or former, whatever. Any marriages that are in Scientology don't really last. Of course, I'd rather stay single than to go through something like that. So, yeah, it's all due because of Scientology. Now, if you're outside Scientology, it's most likely to last. Look at Sharon and Ozzy Osbourne. They were married until his death. And guess what? Pat Benatar and her husband, Rob Canada. I can't say his last name because I'm afraid I'm fearing I get it wrong. They've been married for years now. They're still married today. Scientology never has marriages like that. If you want your marriage to survive, usually you have to hop outside of Scientology. Okay. And is there a divorce? Well, yeah, sometimes. Oh, darn it. Okay, well. Okay, let's see here. It's not ready yet, so we're going to have to get that. I didn't put anything to actually make it stick, so. I mean, yeah, what I just said, I think, okay. Now, hope it's not me. Okay, it has to be a little while longer. Oh, that thing has to go into green. Okay, it's not green, so that means it's not ready yet. All right. Let's see here. All right. What else is going down? Let me think here. Is there anyone in mind? No. Okay. It's all right. Now I'm going to fix it so I get on the directory. Now, I'm hoping that she comes to her senses and puts me on, because guess what? There are contents that didn't even mention Scientology. If you go through the list, it's going to be there. There's one that has no playlist, and if there's no playlist, there's no content. So I don't know what she's thinking, but you know what? Yeah, I'm still gonna try. I'm gonna keep on trying to get on a good side. So if not, then guess what? I'm gonna take my own measures and create my own space. It's not gonna be called an SPTV space, no. It's not gonna be a duplicate. That's not what I'm gonna do. But do I have to ask Aaron's permission? Possibly. So, yeah. And as you notice, Mark Fisher and Janice Gilling Grady is not there. And Janice actually knew Hubbard. John Atek isn't in there, and he actually knew Hubbard. Yeah. Is she thinking? I don't think so. But you know what? I'm not going to fight with her. But I will do this. I am going to come up with my own space. And it's going to be a different title. It will still give you information about Scientology, but it's not going to be duplicate. No. Let me see here. All righty. All right, it's done. Okay, let's pull it out. Now, I think you probably have to ask Aaron before doing anything remotely to what she has. So, is he copyrighted? It's possible. So that's why I said we're gonna have to ask. Yeah, because I'm asking too many questions. And if they're the right questions, then guess what? She's the one that's at the fault. But and she does, I think she does have Liz Gale. She does have Nora. She does have Jenna. And it doesn't make any difference whether you are a Scientologist or not. If you're an advocate, you are on there. And I'm going to have that too. But the main people, I'm concerned that they're not on there. And they actually knew Hubbard. So I think she's going after popularity. She turned it into a popularity contest. I'm sorry to mention that. Yeah, I'm going to stay calm. So I'm not going to blow up on her. That's the last thing I want to do. So, all right. Let's see. All right. Now, when I have my countdown to the Christmas holiday, I will decorate a tree, but not the big tree because I don't want to crap out a big tree. First of all, my nieces and nephews are grown. They're not going to come and see their auntie anymore. Not as much as they used to. So I'm going to grab out a smaller tree and stick it on my dining room table. That's the way it's going to go. So, all right. And what else is going to happen? Okay. Now, when you're protesting, when you go out and protest, please do not go out and protest alone. Because Scientology is relentless when it comes to protesters. Now, you see it every Friday. Aaron is not out there alone. And neither are the women. They are there as a group. Now, it could be a little bit bigger. But you know what? I guess size doesn't matter. But to me, it does. Because guess what? Those people are going to be so confused. So go in a huge group, like from 500 to 1,000. That normally works. Now, the people you're protesting, it really has to do with personality. But if you go protest Scientology, they are dangerous. They're gonna follow you, stalk you, harass you, make your family's life miserable, and they're possibly gonna hurt you physically. Because look what happened to Chris. Look what happened to Erica. Chris got beat up, and Erica gets ran over by a car. Not once, not twice, 3 times. So those people are dangerous. So please be careful. And that's what I'm worried about, my safety And I do not want my family getting stuck in the middle because I decided to protest. And guess what? If anyone messes with my family, they mess with me. Because I am going to be all over them like a cheap suit. That's right. So that will do it. Watch it. Do not hurt people, organizations, but you know what? Some of you are fine. We won't complain about you. But I did protest once this faux grass duck and geese. Now, what they do is take a pipe, force it down its throat, and feed it. They practically force feed it. Then they take the liver, take it out, and cook it, which is such a cruel thing to do. So I went protesting against that, the restaurant they have. Now, other restaurants in other states, they don't have it in some of the states. But the ones that do, yeah, there's a protest. Okay. Now, I sent in, since I don't want to protest alone, I sent in a request with PETA. Now, they organize protests all the time. So I think they're in the midst of planning one. Just don't tell them about the ASPCA visa because I don't want it to go out the window. Although they might say, you know what, we'll deal with that later. The animals have to be safe. That's what they're going to think. So, okay. And everybody, Aaron has been through enough already. He was in Scientology since he was a child. I forgot to add him to the list, but he was in there since he was a child. So he's been through enough already. So if I was sitting in Fluffer Squirrel's shoes, was she a Scientologist when she was young or old? I don't know. But they've been through enough. They don't need that. So, all right. So I suggest that she takes out one of the clips from Dogs United Against Scientology. It's the Dog and Pony Show. Now, PETA and other animal rights activists are against something like that. So I want to tell the people that have that on that site, take it down. Because if they find that, they're going to boycott the SPTV space. Please. I'm not saying this to actually be a nuisance to you. But Aaron's been through enough. He shouldn't have to deal with that. And they will come down hard on Aaron. And I hope Buffer Squirrel or Fluffer Squirrel, whatever, takes my advice too. At least have them take that out. Now I'm trying to be reasonable. Okay, let me see here. Alrighty, it's done. Okay. All right. Am I going to eat all this? No way. All right. Now I'm going to put the last bit in and then call it a day and wrap some of that up because I'm not going to eat it all. So. Now, next weekend, I want to see if I'm going to make, let's see. Let me see, what is it called? Tofu Benedict. It's usually eggs Benedict, but there's a form in the shape of tofu. So we call it Tofu Benedict. Okay. All right, we're done here. We're going to close this up. It's not a rough mouth, but okay. So, and it's been an hour and 17 minutes. Okay. Now you can put anything on there. You can put maple syrup. You can also make it holiday themed, like cranberry sauce, and or you can use the strawberry jam. Okay. Me, I'm actually going to use the maple syrup. So put it on the table. Okay. Oh my gosh. All righty. Now, all right. Yeah. And of course, at the end, if you want to contribute to my channel, you can. But I'm going to keep my word. If for some reason I get too many donations, I'm not going to keep it all. I'm just going to send it to the Aftermath Foundation and the SPTV Foundation. I'm not going to make money off of people's miseries. Forget it. And plus, am I going to go after a 501? I don't know. It might be possible, but still, it's a moral thing that I'm thinking about. We cannot make money off of other people's misery like Scientology does. It's not good. So if I get more than enough, I'm going to send it to them. So I'm giving you my word. So I only said it to actually support my internet connections. Am I going to actually use it to pay my bills? Well, yeah, but other than that, I'm not going to make money off of other people's miseries. So, and I'm low income. So I'm giving this a thought. So I'm not in the shape to donate anything. I am telling you the truth. So, all right. This is what it looks like. It's not pretty. Am I going to eat it all? No way. Okay. All right. Let's see what else is happening. Okay. Of course, hit the like, because that's where YouTube keeps you the position that you're on. Then hit subscribe. They will definitely know that you're being watched instead of throwing you down to the bottom of the list. All right. Now, I chose the advocacy show because it just means a lot to me. Advocating. It just gives me something to do. It occupies my time. That's what I'm looking for. Am I looking to make money off of the SPTV content? No. No way. I am not going to make money off of other people's miseries. No way. So if I get more than enough, I am going to donate it to the SPTV Foundation and the Aftermath Foundation. And you know what they do? they help people out of Scientology who no longer want to have anything to do with them, especially David Miscavige. All right. Now, as soon as this is done, it's time to cut off, and it's been an hour and 23 minutes. Okay. All right. Yeah. And I know you heard this before, but I am definitely going to work on buying me a coffee. I'm taking just too long to do this. Of course, you know I have ADHD, and it's taken a while since I don't have my account. I don't have access to it. I have a payee for Social Security. Yes, I am on Social Security. And of course, for me to even collect it, I had to have my sister-in-law as my payee. That's the way it went for me. So I agreed to it. So I have no access to my account. But that's just the way it goes. I'm very low income. I'm not in a position to donate anything. That's why I have the kitchen segment to help get food on your table. So I'm actually going to try and make a shopping segment. Not just for clothes, but for food. I'll even have economy segment. Yeah, that's right. Okay, let me check on this. All right, it's done. All right, now you get the idea. Hit the like, press subscribe, and I will see you about maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, when I bring you a story. What story? I don't know yet, but I'll definitely have a story. So hit the like, press subscribe. If you want to contribute to my channel, you can. So see you then.